Hello, hello, hello. This is Adrienne Berg, and this is the Ageless Traveler. And we're going to be speaking today about something that is very dear to your heart. I know it. And that is cruising. You know, Ageless Travelers, we have a reputation. And the reputation is that we cruise. But they don't know where we cruise, to some of the most exotic places, to some of the most adventurous places, but also to some of the most expensive places. Yep. That's why today we have with us the operations manager, Anne-Marie Weather, Cruises It. Now, Cruises It is an incredible platform for you so that you really can cruise with luxury, but for less. So thank you, Anne-Marie, for coming here today, because we really do want to talk about this. We want to take a little deeper dive into what Cruises It is, for those who know about it but may not have used it, but also for people who've never heard of it. So tell us, what is Cruises It?
Awesome. Thank you so much for having me, Adrienne. It's a pleasure to be here with you. So Cruises It is a discount travel agency where when a guest books with us, they are going to either get perks or promos or discounts that they would not get with booking directly with the cruise line.
Of course, that's really so important because there is a cost to all of this. And as time goes on and things get more expensive, people who have cruised all their lives are thinking about it a second time. That's why I so much wanted to have you on the show. Now, I want to make it very clear that there are discounts from cruises. So are you saying that they would get those discounts, not miss out on them, and get sometimes some additional discounts?
Absolutely. Anything that the cruise line is offering nationally to all customers, we have access to, and then we will perk and discount on top of that. And in addition to that, we as a travel agency, because we are a bigger travel agency, we do a lot with the cruise lines. We get what they're doing for everyone, plus what they do for us, and then what we can do for a guest additionally on top of that.
I took a look at very expensive cruises because I was looking at Antarctica, which really is expensive.
Yeah.
And I took a look at some of the cruises that I have taken that I thought were very good value. And honestly, they really were less expensive through Cruises It.
Yeah.
I realized I had overspent, even though I thought I'd done such a brilliant job at, picking a luxury for less. Give us an example.
Absolutely. So I actually really love the way our website shows the extra perks as well, because when you're on there, once you get past picking what type of cabin and what ship and sail date, you will see the exact additional perks that will be on there. And a lot of times we'll have access to free prepaid gratuities. So sometimes that's, depending on how long your sailing is, on average, exactly. Yes. So we will be able to get your gratuities covered for guests 1 and 2. We also have free onboard credit because there's always extra things to shop and book while you're on board. And that's basically free money while you're on board. And we will also get discounts on cruise fare. We have access to special rates that not every agency has access to. And so we'll be able to book the same cabin that might be listed on the cruise line for $2,000, and we might be able to get that for $1,400 as an example. Yes. So we definitely have really rich offerings to be able to have guests save money while they're booking their travel.
So, I have to tell you that very recently somebody said, I want to go to Antarctica and I want to cruise there. So I took a look. I went to Cruises It. And of course, you'll have that on our show notes so that you get the URL correct. The website is really just chock full, mouth-watering cruises. So I just put in Antarctica and I got 161 responses from cruises that cost $2,400 to cruises that cost $24,000.
That's awesome.
Yes. And then I was able to, of course, filter that down. So tell us about, you really have a wonderful, very robust search engine in Cruises It. Explain it.
Absolutely. So when anybody goes to our website, sometimes you might know, I want this ship, I want this sail date, and then you can pull that up just as quickly. But sometimes you really are not sure, or you are shopping for the best deal. And so you make your date range a little longer. So our website is able to narrow down and filter by, what if you only know the ship name, but you don't know when it sails? You can start with the ship name. You can just do a cruise line, or you can just start with location. I really want to go to Antarctica.
Right.
So who is going to take me there? So the filters on the left side of our website have great places where you can do certain types of searches to make sure that you're finding exactly what you're looking for, even if you don't know exactly what you're looking for.
Yes. Now, I have to tell everybody, people ask me, how do I plan for 4 months travel? And how do I afford it? Well, one way is that I'm extremely flexible, very flexible with regard to where I'm going. Other people are flexible with regard to dates. I'm flexible with regard to location. So this is a great way for me to use Cruises It, because I can go there and I can simply put in some dates, but no locations. And I may find that, gee, I can go from Qatar down to the Mauritius for cheaper than I could spend 3 days in Italy by myself, because I am that flexible. So that's one way to explore the world. Then, of course, the other way, the person who says, no, I absolutely go to the Galapagos, that's it. And I want to go by ship, and I want to go by this kind of ship, and it's small, and they'll take exactly what they want. You can do that too. So this is a terrific way to plan. Now, I'm going to take a little break. Don't you guys go anywhere. To become and stay an ageless traveler, subscribe to our free weekly newsletter, Travel Tuesday. Just visit agelesstraveler.com, click subscribe, and enter your name and email for a surprise gift. What's the surprise? Well, if I tell you, it's not a surprise. What I can say is that Travel Tuesday tackles travel barriers like money, health, companionship, and even travel burnout, and gives you a taste of what our blog and podcast have to offer every single week, helping you explore the world effortlessly. And now we're back, and we're speaking with the Vice President of Operations for Cruises It. Her name is Anne-Marie Weather. And that is actually one of the things I want to ask you about, Anne-Marie. One of the things people look at when they look at cruises, when they go to cruises, is it going to be rough seas? Is it going to be tough weather? Is this the right time to go? Now, you do have wonderful information. It tells you all about the ships, tells you all about the amenities on the ship. Tell us some of the things that you could learn just by going to Cruises It.
Yeah, so we do really have robust information about ships, itineraries, the places that you're going, and the different things that you can do there. And in regard to the ship, it lists all the different activities. In some parts, there's deck locators, so you can see what is happening on each deck and really be able to plan and create the experience that a certain traveler is looking for.
Let's get a little bit upfront and more personal with you, Anne-Marie. What's your background?
So my background actually is in education. I have my bachelor's in elementary education, and then I went on to get my master's in special education. I did go into the teaching field for about 12 years. I taught middle school special education. I ended up in adult education, helping adults get their GED. And then life changed a little, and I was always home part-time. Once I had children, I job shared and stayed with them. And I really found that that's where I wanted to be for as long as I could. I've always had a passion for travel. My mother called me a little vagabond. I never wanted to be home. I always wanted to be traveling. My grandma would take me via train to New York City to visit my family members like every year. Some of my fondest memories. So around the time my children were in their teens, found Cruises It. I actually knew the senior VP, and she said they were hiring. And I said, well, I want to do this. I'm in. So I started as a travel agent. I learned, I grew, and I really found that this was where I wanted to be. And since then, I now help to run the travel agency and just really enjoy it. And I have found that my background of education helps travelers as well, because I'm able to understand questions and help them and, figure out their needs and help plan the best trip.
So, many of you are listening to this and saying, I can do that. Well, if you would like to collaborate and partner with the Ageless Traveler, we do have group programs. And if you have friends and family, or even if you want to be a little bit more aggressive and go out to your community and be an influencer, there are definitely ways for you to cruise more and make some money out of it, And if you listen, I'll tell you all about it. Don't you go anywhere. Are you interested in an Ageless Traveler curated trip for you and at least 10 of your friends? Well, if you are, please let us know. We will meet with you and see whether or not the type of spa retreats, active travel, lifelong learning travel, or volunteering is a type of trip that you and your friends would like to have. And if so, we may even be able to accommodate you in every single way and even go with you. Or one of our experts might be interested in doing that as well. It creates great camaraderie between you and your friends. It's a unique trip. Learn more about it by letting us know of your interest at fanlist.com/ageless traveler. And now we're back here with the Vice President of Operations for Cruises It, and that is Anne-Marie Weather. Just like the weather, as you will see from our show notes. Now, I'm going to also ask you to please go listen to our show on Apple and Spotify and review it. And those of you who don't even know how to do a review, I didn't at first, you can even find instructions on our website, agelesstraveler.com. I do want to talk about the fact that we are the Ageless Travelers. That means we're a bit more mature, and some of the places we like to go are pretty exotic because we've been everywhere, man. Okay? Where did you go that you loved? If you tell us what cruise you've taken that really stands out in your mind and your heart, I know it's been many of them, but pick one or two. Let's hear about it.
Well, for me, it's all about spending time with my family. And one of my favorite cruises really was actually just this past summer, where we were able to go with the children on a Caribbean cruise. We had such a wonderful time. And what I really love about it, and this goes for all generations, is that on the cruise ship, there was something to do for everyone. So while it was a family trip and we did spend time together, our children took full advantage of that space away from the adults, and the adults could have their adult time. But what was really fun was the excursion days, was getting together to experience the culture of the places that we were and just creating those memories. Another really exciting trip would be considered a transatlantic or a crossing, was when we took a one-way trip from, actually we were here to Puerto Rico, and just being able to experience really being at sea and then ending up in a different location. That was really a great way to get from one place to another without having to get on an airplane, and enjoying the ship amenities along the way.
You know, I am my next cruise that I've got planned, and there's a wonderful ebook that we wrote for you. It's a free ebook. You can get it at agelesstraveler.com, is the Texas Country Music Cruise. So I love themed cruises of that nature. And you'll find them all on Cruises It. And you'll find them more than not big discounts, certainly some discounts. It's really important because you'll discover that you may be able to do 2 cruises instead of 1 during a year because of Cruises It. It really does expand your travel dollar. And that's really what this is all about, as well as very, very good service. Okay, so I want everybody to know that one of the reasons that I collaborated with Cruises It is you. I've been asking you, what do you want? And of course, we have a wonderful Facebook salon where people tell me that too. And honestly, one of their top barriers to travel is the cost. And here we have a way of reducing it with really no time, no worrying about points, no spending hours and hours looking at every single booking service that you could find, or going to a packager that will put together a cruise that's really for somebody else. And it's a little cheaper because it's a group, but it may not be for you. So this is really a contribution that I think we're making to our motto called Never Stop Traveling. So I thank you so much, Anne-Marie. This has really been enlightening for everybody. I think that people will take advantage of this, and I appreciate it very much. And I know the first person who will take advantage of it is me.
Well, thank you so much. It's been an absolute pleasure.
And before we leave this episode of The Ageless Traveler, I want to alert you to a former podcast we did called How to Make the Most of a Short Cruise. But actually, the information applies to any cruise of any length. We did this on February 25th. You will find it under that date on Apple, Spotify, and of course on our own newsletter, agelesstraveler.com. So make sure that you are a subscriber. It's always free. Just go to the homepage of agelesstraveler.com and click subscribe. You'll also get a very interesting little surprise gift. And I do want to mention that health is so important when it comes to cruising, when it comes to any kind of travel. So take a look at my colleagues' Wellness Wednesdays. You'll find those also absolutely free at myzinglife.com. And you know what I'm going to say? Never stop traveling.